We're going to be creating our kaleidoscope, very similar to the patterns that you see here, but we're going to be creating our own. You can look online and look at some examples of kaleidoscopes. This is how you spell it, so double check, take a look it up online, give yourself some idea of kind of what you're looking at, similar to this here. Kaleidoscope, go to images, see what you've got. We're going to do something very, very similar to this technique. Here's how we're going to do it. So, you're going to create a brand new folder by right-clicking and creating a new folder inside of your folder. It should have your name and it should say kaleidoscope on it. Inside that folder, you're going to get a few different images online. You're going to get one that's a paint splatter. You can get any kind of paint splatter that you want. You're also going to find some kind of pattern or dot pattern, as well as some other kinds of patterns and textures that you can find. You're also going to need a picture of someone. You can have more than one if you'd like. I did some more line patterns there. And this is what you end up with at the end. So how do we begin this? Well, we're going to go into Photoshop. We're going to go to File and New at the top. Once we've gone to File and New, we're going to make this 11, or I'm sorry, let's flip that, 8.5 by 11. That's a letter size page, 300 for the resolution, RGB color mode, and we'll hit OK. Once this comes up, I want you to go down towards the bottom of your toolbar here, and if you click and hold, you'll see you have rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, line, and custom shape. We're going to use custom shape for this project. If you go to custom shape, up at the top, first make sure you have shape selected here. We're going to give it a fill color right now. We'll give it a blue, but we can always change that later. And the stroke around the edge, let's click on that and give it no stroke. Then over here where the shapes are, you're welcome to pick any number of shapes. I'll show you the ones that work best for this project. V is starting right about here and working your way all the way down so you get to this kind of clover or blob kind of shape. These all work. There are some others that might work as well, so I'm just going to pick one to show you how it's going to work. I'm going to use the heart. So when you click any of these shapes, in order to apply it, all you have to do is click, hold, shift, and drag. If you let go of shift, you're going to get different stretches and thicknesses, right? But if you hold shift, it keeps it proportional. I'm going to go about that big. I'm going to let go. If you look over your layers panel, you'll see what it did. It dropped a layer, a shape layer, or just like that. Then you're going to go into that folder that you've created. You're going to right-click and open with Photoshop some of these images that you've found. Once you open them up, pull them apart, of course, take the Move tool and drag them in. Now, once I drag it in, you see there's still white behind it. Matter of fact, if I hide the background, you can see there's still white around this. So if I want to get rid of the white on this, I'll use the magic wand tool, select the white, right-click, similar, and hit delete. If I do Command D, you can still see I can still move it around, but what I want to happen is I want to put this inside the heart. So to do that, make sure that the heart layer is above the shape layer. Right-click on the shape, or the blob in this case, and go to Create Clipping Mask. And that will keep it inside. Now, from here you have options, and this goes for any image that you use. You can copy these. You can do Command T. You can resize them, rotate them, stretch them, pull them, do whatever you want to kind of move them around. To copy them, remember, hold Option on your keyboard while you have the Move tool, and you should be able to copy things. Then I'm going to go back and I'll find some more from that same folder. So here's that dot pattern. Open it with Photoshop also. So you're going to continue to do the same steps. Pull it apart. This one has no background, so I'm just going to take the Move tool and move it in. So this one, if I want to keep it in, I'm going to right-click and also clip it. And you see it stays inside. Now I can still do Command T. I can still resize to make the dot pattern smaller. I can pull it like this, let's just say, resize it. Everything's looking good. Excellent. Now, besides Command T and moving it and resizing it and rotating it, if you want to change color to anything, one way that you can do it is double-click the layer, and the Layer Styles box pops up. From there, you could do any of these things like Color Overlay, and then choose the color here. So if I make it pink, all of a sudden you see the pink dots inside there. All right. Then from there, I'm going to continue down. Now, when you hit some of your other patterns and things, you're going to overlap a lot of stuff. So I'm going to pull this in also. And now once this is in, I'm going to right-click and clip this. Now you'll notice that it covers everything else. That's because it's at the top of the clipping. This little arrow tells you that it's clipped. So you can pull it under, and now it's under. And if right now the blue is underneath it, right? So if you want to see through layer 3 into the blue, you can go to layer 3 and change the blending mode, or take the magic wand and select the white and get rid of it. But I'm going to change the blending mode here just to show you. kind of what happens, right? So you got a little bit of both kind of things going on. If you wanted the black to be a different color, select the black with the magic wand tool from layer 3, right click, similar. Sorry, there we go. And then I could take a brush tool or a paint bucket tool, choose a color, and I could brush over this with a large brush like this. Now you'll see it's coming up blue because I have it still on multiply. If I put it back to normal, you see that it's pink now. Then I could. So you have a bunch of options once you get here as to what you could potentially do to this thing. You go to the next one, you grab the person, you cut them out, and you bring them in. Once they're cut out and brought in, so I'll give you an example. This was more of a finished looking one, but you can see that one actually he's not cut out yet. Let's see if he's cut out here. Yeah. So here, use this one of Carmelo as an example. Okay. So I took this picture of Carmelo here, and I'm going to resize him. He's still clipped in. I'm going to move him over here. I'll make a copy of him. I'll do Command T. You could flip him. Right? All right. So let's just say that that's my entire one, from the shape all the way up to here. So what you're going to do then is hold Shift, grab all of these layers. Once you've done that, and you have to be happy with it, you're going to copy the whole thing. So it copies all the layers, and then you take all these copies with them all selected, right-click, and merge those together. Merge layers. So they become one. See that? So what you do from there is you simple edit, free transform, pull that dot where you want it to spin from. So if I pull it here to the corner, now when I rotate it, I can make a decision about how far I want this to go. And this all depends on your shape. We had picked the heart, so that's why it's looking the way that it's looking. So you continue to do that. You take that top layer, you copy that top layer, then you do Command T, you move the dot to where you want it to spin from, and then you rotate. Like that. And you continue around until you get all the way to the other side. There might be some overlap, and that's okay. You can grab all of these pieces now, copy all of them, and then merge all of them so that you have an extra. When you get to this part, if you have any struggle or any trouble, let me know. We'll also be able to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and we can mess with the colors of that one. You can mess with the sides, you can mess with the color, you can move it on top, you can move it behind. You have a lot of options as to what you can do. You can make some that are going to be huge, and you can put them, the stacking order. You pull them to the bottom, and now they're behind everything else to help you create that kaleidoscope look. But the first thing is to take care of that one shape that you're creating. Make it interesting, make it exciting, and then we're going to copy and flip that. It's almost like a piece of pizza, and then you're creating the rest of the pie by copying it and rotating it.